students and?
You know, no one will ever know the factor, the win factor versus the fun factor versus because it's all, you can't just pull it out. As I mentioned earlier, I think what happens is you start to lose momentum. And so I think we're still feeling, there's the reseeding, and there's 2 years ago going 4-8, and if you tie those two together, it probably has a factor of where we sit today. And when you lose momentum, it's a lot harder to get it back than it is to, it's a lot easier to lose it than it is to get it back. So I feel the sky, I don't sit here, I think we're gonna have a good year. I think we're gonna have a good year of attendance. I think the Ball State game is high on my radar because those tickets are going the slowest. On the other hand, as we get closer and closer to the end of the year, we're gonna do some things for that game in group sales. We're having some other promotions. When the season's done, that's when you can ask me when the season's done, was it winning? Was it better sound system? Was it better hot dogs? Was it the parking went better than they thought? I won't know the answer other than if we've won a lot of games and the stadium was full at the end and our ticket number at the end was higher than last year. All of those factors played into it, and it will call it a successful year. Again, going back to, so we're sitting here with tickets available, but we also are sitting here with one of the 4 programs in the country who had attendance in the top 25 in football, men's, women's basketball. So the sky's not falling. We have a lot of tickets to sell for certain games, and I think it'll happen.
And Gary, just going outside your staff, and as far as game day experience, what happens in Kinnick? Keeping momentum, kind of finding the line between burrito lift and actual fan engagement. Have you guys gone outside for that? Or
yes. I've brought some people in to take a look at what we're doing, give us their best advice compared to other stadiums, and a lot of what we do they think is exciting and great, and they gave us a lot of great ideas to try. The burrito lift's a funny one. You used the example, I didn't bring it up, but we tried to take it away one year in basketball, and the fans, we got huge negative feedback. So I know some people think that's quirky, but just watch the stadium when it happens and all the people doing this. So it's a balance between great tradition, between the Nile Kinnick, the entrance down, the swarm, and then adding new things so that we don't get stale. And yes, I brought in some people from the outside to take a look at it.
Has there been any talk? One thing I hear a lot about, I don't know if you do, the sponsoring of the national anthem. Is that going to go away?
I honestly don't remember. Where we landed last year, I was comfortable with. We didn't sponsor the national anthem. We sponsored right up before the national anthem. So I was comfortable where we ended up a year ago. But it's not just that topic. It's a constant discussion. How do you balance how far you'll go in sponsorship?
Right.
And yet, how are you going to pay the bills?
Right.
Our budget this year will be $85 million, and that'll be 7th in the Big Ten. And yet, I'm expecting to beat every team in the Big Ten. So it's that balancing act between the financial need and commitment to compete versus making sure you have a fun, exciting environment.
You hired a new deputy athletics director. How is that different than your current senior associate athletics director in position, and what kind of roles do you expect Gene to take on when he gets here and gets going?
Well, it's a new position. Anytime you have a new position, you reserve the right to have it kind of mold over time. Initially, I did a lot of reorganization within the department, not just with that position. So I moved some people who maybe used to report to me, to Jane. I moved some people to Gene, moving around some different responsibilities. Again, I don't think most people are going to see it externally, but for example, one of the things Gene's going to do immediately is he's going to work on, we have a strategic plan. And we worked as a senior team and as a department and put it together. One of the things I'm going to have him doing is making sure that we're going through that strategic plan and constantly putting it in front of us to see how we're advancing and what areas we need to focus on. And so he'll kind of be the keeper of that. He'll work on football scheduling, so he'll take on, that was a Mark Abbott duty. So it's not just one thing, and it didn't just move a bunch of things here and take it away from someone else. It's a movement that moves some things under Jane, some things under Gene. The advantage I have in Gene, in his particular situation, because of his background, he's sat in my chair. So he knows, he's gone through a lot of things that other people on the senior staff haven't gone through. And I'm going to look forward to that in terms of having his ear constantly. He's going to oversee immediately the kind of the HR, administration, finance, working with Mick and Mary directly. That's something I'm going to have him do. And one of the things that I told President Mason and I told our senior staff and our head coaches, I want to have it in a situation that when I'm off campus, this weekend when I head to Chicago, Saturday through Tuesday, I'm going to make sure that someone, and in this case, because Jane will be with me there for with senior women's administrator duties, someone is going to be here, and it won't always work where I'm here and he's not, or vice versa, but another person that understands everything that's going on in the club.
What's the